this Thursday, Bears-Texans. Caleb Williams says he wants to suit up. Spoiler alert, he's not going to. Take a listen.
I would love to get out there and play. It's pretty awesome to be at Canton. But, it's coach's decision.
You think you'll get a chance to voice your opinion?
I don't know if I'll be able to voice it at this point.
That's the right answer. Eberflus says no starters are going to play. Tyson Bagent will start at QB. So, Coach, you expect Caleb to live up to the hype once we do see him play?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him play this week, and I don't think it would have been a bad thing for him to get a little bit under, just get a feel for the process, get a series or two. I'm curious why Matt decided to do that.
So is he just scared? Like we talked about with Aaron Rodgers, our coach is just scared. Like if he got hurt, I would get killed.
No, it's just when you have the extra game that everybody else doesn't have. It does give you an opportunity to evaluate part of the roster that maybe you wouldn't be able to evaluate with the normal number of games. So I'm sure that's what Matt's philosophy is let me look at the back end of the roster. Mm-hmm. Let me try to figure out how those pieces fit. And then as my guys get further along and Caleb's more comfortable, then we'll go ahead and put him in.
Okay.
And you could go either way and not be wrong taking either track. In terms of the hype, my biggest concern with Caleb is the off schedule plays, and in the NFL everybody's bigger, right. They close quicker, they anticipate better, they hit harder, and as many plays as Caleb made in college where he's outside of the pocket, he's making something happen, he's extending it, that's great. But these guys, you're going to get hit at a different level and with a different level of frequency. And how many times we have the conversation? He needs to get down. Yeah. He needs to throw the ball away. And it's every year with these rookie quarterbacks. And hopefully he understands that those plays are great, but they can't be every single time. Every first down isn't worth him. So that's my concern with Caleb is, can he stay within the system and against his natural tendency to want to go and make plays and put himself at risk too much?
Yeah, I've got similar views on Caleb. Like, I think he'll eventually be a really good quarterback, but I think it's going to be a transition. I think as the season goes on, he'll learn to get down, maybe to stay more in the system instead of going off schedule. And so I'm not saying I see a Jordan Love season where he struggles early and then takes off, but I think he'll get better and we'll start to see the glimpses of, okay, this guy looks like he's going to be a great quarterback in the second half of the season. So I don't think he can live up to the hype because the hype is through the roof. Like Nick and other people are considering picking them to go to the Super Bowl.
He was on Mahomes' mountain before he was drafted.
Right, there you go. I mean, no rookie quarterbacks ever led a team to the Super Bowl. So the hype is that, at least in some quarters, that he's going to do something no one's ever done. And so if he doesn't do something Marino and Mahomes and all these guys never did, then he won't technically live up to the hype. And I think the other thing is the C.J. Stroud factor. Because C.J. Stroud was so good last year that I think some people are thinking, they're going to compare Caleb to C.J. And if he doesn't play as well as C.J., well, why not? And you've heard everybody say you haven't seen a top pick come into a better situation than this. So we saw CJ play with one of the worst teams we thought was going to be one of the worst teams in the league, rookie coach, and he leads them to a playoff win. And Caleb's going to a situation where they look like they got a pretty good team. And so people are going to be expecting him to do at least what CJ did. And I don't think he will because most guys don't. Like CJ's an aberration. Trevor Lawrence still hasn't had a great year. Kyler Murray, all these guys that were ballyhooed and hyped out of college and have shown some stuff, but have not lived up to the hype.
But don't you think, Brew, if he's able to compete in that division and they potentially win that division, even, maybe it's not even win the division, but get close
into the
playoffs. Chicago hasn't been good for a long time, and now you've got the resurgence in Green Bay. You've got the resurgence in Detroit.
Right.
If he's able to lead them to a really successful season and ideally get into the playoffs, there's a lot of people in Chicago who haven't experienced winning. I think
if he gets into the playoffs, I think that'll be good. I mean, it won't technically be the hype because some people are saying Super Bowl, but that would be a really good season. But are 3 teams coming out of that division for the playoffs? That's like the toughest division in the NFC.
Yeah, I don't think 3 teams are coming out of it, and don't know where Green Bay really is. I mean, they got hot late, but is that the team we're going to see at the start of this season, or is it going to be the team we saw last year through the majority of the season? They're 6-8 going in the final 3 games.
Quickly, Coach, if I'm Caleb Williams and you're a defensive coordinator, you throw some either exotic blitz at me or some coverage that confuses me once I get the ball. I realize, like, you tricked me, you got me. Now I've got the ball. I think if I can extend this play a little bit, I can get my guys open. Are you saying I shouldn't do that? I should just kind of eat it, throw the ball away, just self-sack? How is that actually supposed to play out?
One of the things that Tom Brady did and Peyton Manning did very well is understand when it just wasn't worth the hit for a 3-yard completion. So there's times where a guy's going to come clean because you're in the wrong protection, or someone blows a pickup, or whatever the case may be, and you can try to escape that guy and run out of the pocket and make a play, or you can figure, all right, it's first down, I'm going to throw the ball away, it's 2nd and 10, it's not what we want it to be, but that's a lot better than it being 2nd and 15, 2nd and 20, or he picks up 2 or 3 yards and gets lit up for it. So you've got to do the risk reward on 3rd down. That's a little bit different story. In the red zone, that can be a little bit different story. 2 minute, there's situational things where you can take